Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have another box to open. It just got stuck to my shirt a little bit. Anyways, this is from my buddy Alex, who's been a supporter of the channel for quite a while, and just a really genuinely nice dude who's super into knives. And I just loaned him a couple of knives as well to check out. And a few months ago now, was it? I don't know, probably maybe 2 months ago. Anyways, Alex loaned me some prototypes of a fixed blade that he was kind of somewhat involved in the process of like giving feedback on for SRK Knives. And so I did a couple of videos on those. I at least did the unboxing and kind of like a final analysis on them. There were a couple of prototypes that I had that had some variations between the two of them, and really was just trying to give some feedback to SRK Knives, who turns out is a really cool dude as well. I've talked to him quite a bit. And so this should be an updated version of that prototype, or an updated prototype of that model, if you will. And I think they're pretty close to being ready to go ahead and start making these on a grander scale. So we're gonna go ahead and bust into this. See if I can get that to work. Yeah, all right. Let's see what we got in here. I recognize this towel. That's what they came in last time. Oh, there's two in here. Okay. So again, we have two kind of iterations, I suppose. Oh, sweet. One is set up on like a lanyard for like neck knife carry. And then the other is set up with horizontal loops for horizontal belt carry, which is the way that I personally like to carry EDC fixed blades. That's my favorite way to go about it. This sheath does have a little bit of rattle in it. I've heard already from Alex that the sheath is going to be updated based on this to solve that exact issue. So we talked about these knives before they arrived. That's not a surprise to me, and that's not going to be a final production thing. But let's see how these look. Looks like Alex has done some cutting with them, which is great to see. All right, so this one appears to be, I think this is black micarta. It looks more like micarta than G10 to me, with some red G10 liners underneath it. Pretty cool. So look at that. I'm not sure what steel this prototype is in. I'll have to ask and find out. But pretty cool looking knife. It's much slimmer than I remember the other prototypes being in terms of its overall profile. And this handle feels really good now. This feels great. I quite like the profile of it. Super simple and neutral, but with enough shape that it feels like my hand kind of belongs on it. It's got a little bit of jimping up here, placed kind of forward on the spine, but it's super non-aggressive, not very deep jimping, which I like. I like that jimping there as an indexing point and as a little bit of traction. I don't want it to be like a crazy tactical jimping spot. So I like that. The edge that's on this is fantastic as well. I like that edge quite a bit. If this is the original edge that Cliff put on it at SRK, then that is good. Yeah, nice thin blade stock, very slicey profile overall, full flat grind, thin behind the edge. This is sweet. This is really cool. So a big improvement already over the first iteration that I had last time. Let's see what this other guy looks and feels like. So this one, you'll see, from what I can tell so far, is just basically set up with a different type of sheath so that you can wear it as a neck knife, which I don't really do very often, if I'm being honest. I know some people are into that. There was a time in my life when I did wear neck knives occasionally, and it is kind of nice that you can just kind of conceal it in like that. I mean, you really can't tell that someone's wearing one of these. Just kind of reach under the shirt and pull it out, and I guess I can actually do that. And boom, you have a knife. So that's a cool way of going about it, I suppose. And maybe I'll give this one a shot a few times and see if I want to revisit wearing neck knives. I didn't really have a reason for stopping. It's not like I decided I hated it. I feel like I just kind of, like the knives that I was carrying as neck knives, I wasn't really into as much anymore. Like my taste evolved from those knives in particular. But This is cool. So this one has green micarta, and it's like a polished micarta. Same thing with the black on the other one, but it's got orange liners, which I think looks really, really cool with the green. And this one, you can see the blade is coated. I'm not sure if this is Cerakote or DLC or what. It looks like a gray Cerakote to me. This edge is awesome. This one doesn't have the jimping on the spine. It also feels like this handle is slimmer. Yeah, it's definitely slimmer. It tapers down at the end. Let me hold them up side by side so you can see. I'll do it this way. So if you look at the handle profiles, this one is way skinnier in terms of its overall profile. The blades, it looks like the blade on the gray one is a little bit narrower, not by a ton though. Let me see if they feel different in weight. Yeah, the black one does, or the black handled one does feel a little heavier. Interesting. It looks to me like they've got identical blade stock. The length overall on the one with the green scales is a little bit shorter, just barely. Not a huge difference, but the handle length is the same. It's the blade length that looks a little shorter. Pardon me. I had to sneeze. Yeah, these are really, really interesting to me. I liked the first prototypes that I had in hand. If you watch the kind of analysis of those, you'll see it was overall pretty positive. But this is next level compared to what those were. These are much more exciting to me than those knives were, and I already liked those. I love how thin this blade is overall, and it's a nice thin stock. As an EDC fixed blade, this makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, this is cool. I'm not usually super into tapered handles, but I'm finding I'm liking this one in hand. It just feels really good. And there's like enough of a little bit of a curve kind of right here that it does still feel like it's locking in pretty well. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to check out and see how I end up feeling about these. But I'll carry them a little bit. I'll use them a little bit. And we'll see what happens, because I'd like to give some more feedback, as valuable as that probably isn't. But it's fun to analyze knives a little bit and dig into them and just see what I like and what I don't like. And yeah, first kind of inspection right out of the box. These are nice. I like the G10 liners. I like the micarta. They feel nice. Very cool. So we're going to carry them. We're going to see how they do. And then there will be another video once I've checked them out a little bit more and had some experience with them, and I'll give some kind of final thoughts before sending them off again. And then probably after these, I would imagine there probably won't be much more prototyping. It'll basically be like there will be this knife model available for purchase, which would be really, really cool. So anyways, I'll link to Alex's Instagram down below and also to SRK Knives, so you can check them out. And yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.